During the break, you were kind of explaining to me a little bit about how your organization works and how you're supported and so forth. Explain to me a bit more about that and how people can get involved if they're interested, or what you guys are trying to get people to be aware of, that sort of thing.
Sure. So we're supported mainly by membership dues, which we try and keep really low. It's very inexpensive to join. The only qualification for joining is that you have an interest in boating or water recreation in general.
Okay.
We have a website, hoodriveryachtclub.org, that's got information on how to join the club. We're, organized mainly for social reasons, get boaters together, tell stories, get out on the water together. We do offer a dry yard service, so members...
Explain that. What exactly is that?
Well, the marina is full to capacity.
Okay.
And so we started looking at ways to get more people access to the water, and we started leasing a facility. So there's a fenced yard that we offer members to store their boats in close proximity to the marina.
Okay. And so is there a charge for that, or is that
There is a charge for that, and that, I believe, is at capacity currently too. But
okay. So it's pretty popular.
It's popular, yeah. Boating in Hood River has gotten really popular over the last several years.
So who is the typical sailor? Who is it families? Is it single people? Is it couples? Is it just run the gamut?
Yeah, it's anybody and everybody. That's one of the great things about sailing and boating in general is you really get people from every walk of life.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to different events, cruise-ins or regattas, you meet people from all over the place and from every possible walk of life.
Yeah. Wow. Well, the Gorge, obviously we're known for wind sports, but we think of kiteboarding, windsurfing. Sailing is not one of those things that I would normally think of in the Gorge as like a very big deal. Is this you're talking about marina's full, the dry dock or dry space is full. It must be a pretty good place to sail.
It's a great place to sail, and it's gaining a lot of international recognition. The Columbia Gorge Racing Association that operates out of Cascade Locks has done a really good job attracting some big events to the area. They have plans to improve their facility as well.
Okay.
So it's amongst the sailing community, it's known as a really great place to go sailing. The body of water is only so big, so you're kind of limited that way by how big of an event you can actually hold.
Yeah. Is it ever too windy?
Not very often. It's too windy for some people, but most of the sailors around here are pretty hardy and kind of pride themselves on being able to go out in just about any condition.
So do you ever have to compete with the other folks out there doing water sports, the kiteboarders and windsurfers and stuff? Do you guys?
We really haven't had any incident. Everybody gets along really well. I think the windsurfers and the kiteboarders and everybody is out there to have fun. And so, I can't think of a single instance where there's been any sort of friction.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. What about the popularity as far as the actual Hood River Yacht Club in terms of growth? It sounds like it's popular. Has that been recent, or has it been, you mentioned it had been around since the 50s?
Yeah, and over the years, interest, I think, waxes and wanes. Right now, we're building more interest, and we have been over the last, 10 years. People come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Hood River's, there's a lot of transients that are here for, maybe 3 years, maybe 10 years.
Right.
So I think that has maybe something to do with it. But our goal is to create a critical mass with the yacht club and keep this momentum going forward.
Good. And how many people are involved right now?
We have roughly 75 members. A lot of families, a lot of single individuals.
That seems like a pretty impressive number. Granted, we're pretty small communities. Is that pretty big? Or is that?
I think it's big. Yeah. I think, We always want more.
Yeah.
So the more, the better.
Now, do the people doing this, do they all own their own boats, or is there people that, I don't know, well, you don't probably borrow these, but how does that work?
No, a lot of the membership doesn't own a boat. They're friends of somebody that owns a boat, or they just want to get on more boats and go for rides. And so join the club, meet people. There is an associate membership that we offer that allows people to become a member of the club, not be quite as involved if they don't want to be, at a lower cost. And
so can people be involved if maybe they don't actually want to do the sailing, they just want to ride along, and there's people willing to let them ride along? Can you do that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Wednesday nights during our race nights, as more and more boats are coming to town and more people are racing, there's more demand for crew.
Okay.
And on any boat, there's jobs that take skill, and there's jobs that really don't take much skill at all.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to learn how to sail. Just show up on a Wednesday night and ask around.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be right back.
Coming up,
People that are typically do more racing really get into the technical side of things, try and squeeze every ounce of performance out of their boat. So